so welcome back to my channel today, and we are doing a brand new Sims 4 creative sim video. And so today we are back with a brand new sim for yet again another current household that I decided to go ahead and create and play off camera. I have now had at least 3 off-camera current households in The Sims 4, but I've narrowed it down to 2, the DeLusos and the Robert family. And then I also have one in The Sims 2, the Pleasant View, neighborhood off-camera household that I play all the time. But for this one, I wanted to do something like fun and something different and more chill, because I don't know if you guys know, but my friend Ocean Sims has a current household of her own that she plays off camera and does random updates on their life, and it looks so fun and so chill and so relaxing to see how she plays her game, and then seeing how I play my game but with a different style and point of view. And so I wanted to do something like that, but more of me. And so I would like to say thank you, Ocean Sims, for inspiring me to make this sim and make a story out of it, and just have fun playing The Sims for myself for once. And that's what I like about her channel. She does things because she wants to do them, and she does it super well, and it's her, and it's calming, and her voice is like Bob Ross but for The Sims, and I love it. Either way, so we have Larissa Roberts. She is actually a freelance botanist, a green thumb, loves the outdoors, but she's also family orientated. And so she has a dream of actually opening up her own flower shop in honor of her mother, Marget. And so the only reason why she's doing this is because her mom really taught her how to really dig deep down into her roots of planting and flower arranging and being her own businesswoman. And I really like that statement that never work for somebody else, always work for yourself and be your own boss. And I love that. And so that's how I came up with Larissa Roberts. And of course, I will be doing some current household update videos on her progress, on what she's been doing, on her day-to-day life. And I will also show some pictures of her mom and her father when she was a little bit younger, just because that's how I usually play my game. Whenever I can make a brand new sim with a backstory or has a different past, I always try to incorporate pictures of when they were younger. I've played them for years and months, but I really haven't. So you'll see pictures in Larissa's tiny home house in Oasis Springs of her mother and her father when she was a toddler and a child. Her mother actually passed away when she was around when she was 16. And so she wanted to do something in her mother's name, and she already knew what she wanted to do with her life. She did go to college, but she later on actually dropped out midway through her second year of her college life, and she went to the University of Rochester, and I think it was in the fine arts degree path, but she didn't really want to pursue that track of life and wanted to just go back and relive her glory days of being herself and not having to be tied down to books and college and school and everything else. So she moved back to Oasis Springs with her father, but then later on she kind of grew out her father's home. It was getting a little bit too, how I would put it, sad, basically, living in that house where she grew up. Her mother, lived there, and her father lived there. And later on, Larissa's father went to a retirement home, so he's out, somewhere in Oasis Springs. That retirement home, that old one back there in the back next in those community lots. Yeah, that place is a great place. Larissa, hooked him up pretty well, and his name is actually Charles Roberts, which is very generic name, I know, but they had a good life. And I think with Charles, he wanted his daughter to really be happy for once, and I think that's why he took the time out of his day, pretty much almost every single day, to work with his friends who were builders and somewhat contractors on the side to help Larissa have her own home. And Larissa's she loves having family around and stuff like that, and stuff material things, but she really didn't want to have that going into a new home. And so she decided to go ahead and get the plans ready with her father and the idea that she had on what she wanted, and she came up with a concept of a tiny home. And I, for one, really love tiny homes, and something about that is that tiny homes are supposed to be small, compact, and very homey. And so it's really cool that The Sims 4 is getting a tiny living game pack this month on, I believe, the 21st of January, which is super cool and right up my alley for this because I want to have Larissa to have the perfect home. And even though I kind of already built her a tiny home, I might as well go ahead and renovate it once we get the pack for, the game. And you'll be seeing a speed build of Larissa's tiny home in the next couple of days, just because I kind of wanted to have something, for her to live in for now until we got the tiny living pack, so I can make it a little bit more of her style and fit the tiny home look and feel. And she might end up move. She might move eventually in the future, but who knows? But as of right now, she is pretty set in stone with this lovely tiny home. But like I said, I'm really, really happy how I really made her with her backstory. It's very simple, very short. Like I said, she's trying to open up her own flower shop and make a very successful business out of it in honor of her mother, Marget, in Oasis Springs, and alongside with the help of her father, Charles, who comes to the house every now and then when he has a chance, but mostly Larissa goes and visit him at the retirement home because he is getting pretty old. He's only like 67, I believe, at this time, and he's starting to have a little bit of complications with his eyes, and he can't walk as well, so it's like he needs a lot of help when it comes to, like moving around and like actually seeing things and going to places, because he has the ability, to go places for himself, but he needs help to get there and pick out things. But he relies on Larissa for most of that stuff. So she kind of volunteers her time at the retirement home every now and then when she can, when she's not working on her craft of flower arranging, painting, crafting new things that she really wants to have in her home, but also to sell in the distant future. But she also goes to San Myshuno to go to the local flea market and sell her things to get her name out there and show people that she knows what she's doing. Like, she's a boss woman and she's going to kill the game. And so that is what she's doing, selling her stuff at the flea market, helping her dad at the retirement home, volunteering, and working her way. And she's saving a lot of her money, actually. She's getting very close to her goal, but I want her to have a very, big budget when it comes to our flower shop, and I will be building that when we get to that point in time, when she gets to that certain amount of funds in her family household funds, to build that flower shop. It might be a very small one, but I don't know. I'm still thinking of what I want her to have as a flower shop. It could be a big one, it could be a small one. I'm not really sure about the details just yet, but in the distant future, there will be one, so don't you worry. There will be a flower shop for Larissa named, I think I might call it Margaret's Flowers, or I don't know. Give me some suggestions down below on what I should call the flower shop, because I want to have Margaret in the title, but I'm not really sure what to call it. I might just call it Margaret's. But then I want to have people know what it is, so I might call it Margaret's Flower Shop. It's a working title. It's a working title, so if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments below. But I might also put a poll in the video so you guys can vote on which one works best with the title of her flower shop when we get to that point. So Margaret's Flower Shop, Margaret's pot plants. I don't know. Working titles. It's a work in progress. It's all we know. And I should have said this at the beginning, but Larissa is an only child. She has no siblings whatsoever. But that's who she is. That's Larissa Roberts. I hope you guys actually enjoyed the backstory that I gave her and what I'll be doing with her from time to time on my own free time. But there might be actually no, there will be a current household update on her because I've been playing her off camera. And I've actually filmed this creative sim a couple of days ago. So I'm felt a little bit inspired to make a new sim, play around with her and see what's what, and there may or may not be a common love interest or friendship happening already with Larissa, but you never know. well, you'll just have to see in the next couple of days. But either way, I'm going to go ahead and actually wrap up this voiceover right here. I really hope you guys much enjoyed it. Please go ahead and know down in the comments below as always and what you thought. And I will see you guys all in the very next video. Bye!